Good morning, happy Monday. It is November 18th. Mercury isn't even retrograde for another week and it's already doing a whole bunch of dumb stuff. All right, so we had a revealing weekend. There was probably some karma involved with this reveal over the weekend. This is in the world of Venusian things, right? So your relationships, your finances, your comfort, your security. There was probably something over the weekend that was revealed that you may have gotten in your head about a little bit, spent the weekend thinking about, okay? And now the moon is in Cancer and a lot of people are in their feelers about whatever it is that was revealed over the weekend, whatever karma they faced or dealt with over the weekend. And now they're probably out here trying to make everything right. They're trying to be very loving and caring about it, okay? The moon will also square the nodes today. That is going to create this situation of not really being sure if you want to go backwards, do you want to go forwards, do you want to give yourself up for a relationship, do you want to move forward by yourself, are we going to lean into people pleasing, or are we going to lean into getting a little feisty and speaking up for ourselves? We're kind of in that in between with that, with the moon squaring those nodes. The moon will also oppose Venus. This is this feeling of wanting to approach somebody, wanting to offer something. Venus in Capricorn with Saturn now direct is going to have a lot to do with potential offers of commitment. A lot of whatever happened over the weekend maybe made somebody realize, oh no, I really screwed up. I need to go fix this. And they think the way to fix that is to offer some type of commitment, okay? The late tonight, the moon will also trine Saturn. So that just is kind of adding to that desire for commitment per se. Really, we should be looking at this more from the position of doing the work, the emotional work with that Saturn now direct in Pisces. What it's really trying to show us is that we need to do that work on our emotions, that inner work, and figure out, work on our traumas and things like that and actually fix ourselves as individuals. But that's not how it's going to get played out in the world around us for the most part, especially people that refuse to accept their karma, people that refuse to work on themselves. There's a lot of people in this world that will just keep doubling down on the same thing over and over again and never actually work on their traumas, okay? The sun is also moving into a trine with Neptune retrograde. So there's another level to that clarity with Neptune being retrograde. It's another level to lies and manipulation being revealed. This is definitely in the realm of confessions, potentially. You could have someone coming to you saying, hey, I want to tell you everything and this, that, and the other. Okay. Now, because of what's coming up over the next few months, I would not just accept anybody's apology. Because there's going to be a lot of trying times. All three of the personal planets will be stationing retrograde over the next few months. Some of them will be overlapping as well. Mercury is going to overlap with the Mars retrograde, and then Venus retrograde will then overlap with another Mercury retrograde. Now is the time to work on yourself. Now is the time to look within and ask yourself, why was I doing this? Why did I treat this person this way? Why, ask yourself why you received certain karma and what it is that you need to do to work on yourself to figure out how to be a better person in the future, basically. That's the energy that we're in. As we know, the mass majority of humanity has zero interest in actually doing self-work, okay? So you're actually going to have a lot of people around you just continuing to double down on their stuff, continuing to play victim to their own circumstances, to their own karma, and things of that nature. We also only have about a day and a half left of Pluto in Capricorn. So there's that last little push of the power struggles to maintain control, to maintain authority, to maintain your manliness or whatever other crap people are deluding themselves about, okay? So really, karma is the name of the game right now. And we need to make sure that we're not trying to save other people from their karma, and we're not believing any kind of crap that they're throwing our way in order to outrun their own karma, okay? The cards are Knight of Cups as our energy of the day. This is that riding in on your white horse with the, save the day, all the apologies, all the I'm sorries. This is the person who comes running in with the love bombing and then disappears just as quickly as they showed up, okay? That's what we're seeing. We're seeing people running from their own stuff, running from their karma, they realize that they screwed up, right? They had something happen over the weekend. They caught some karma. Things collapsed on them probably. So they did, in fact, realize that they screwed up, but they're not actually doing anything about it. They're not doing the work. They're just trying to run into the next thing to make them feel better in the moment, okay? What we're focusing on is the Devil and the Queen of Swords. Make sure you're standing up for yourself. You're not allowing somebody to take control over you or your thoughts. You're speaking your mind. You're cutting the strings. You're taking control of things. You stay in control of the situation. Don't allow them to pull the wool over your head, okay? Definitely make sure that you are standing in your truth and speaking up for yourself. What we are avoiding is the Hanged Man. You don't need to see things from their perspective. If somebody has done you dirty, you have zero obligation to understand it from their perspective. They should have known, but we are all grown-ass adults. We all know right from wrong. We all know that certain behavior is not acceptable. We all know that it is not okay to lie, cheat, manipulate, ignore boundaries, things of that nature. We all know that. You have zero obligation to go, oh, well, I guess since you were traumatized, it's okay you did that to me. We have zero obligation to do that. You don't have to see things from their perspective. You need to take care of you in the situation and not allow this whole guilt-tripping thing. I actually had someone do that to me a while back where they came back and they were like, well, I was traumatized. As though I was supposed to be like, oh, okay, I get it, I understand, come on back. Like, no, that's not how that works. There is a difference between understanding why you did something and using it as an excuse versus understanding why you did something and actually working on it and fixing that so that you don't do it again. You don't have to forgive anybody. You don't have to let them back in because you understand, because they're explaining themselves. Do not save other people from their karma because they make you feel bad, because they have an explanation for it, okay? You can explain all day long, but if you're not doing the work, that's a you problem, right? You don't have to take that back into your life. Just keep that in mind. The bottom of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles, so this is a slow and steady energy. This is a stand back, observe. Make sure that you're standing your ground. You have something that you are growing for yourself. Don't allow someone else to come back in and take control of that. Make sure that you are standing your ground. You're speaking up for yourself, using the sharp words if you got to use the sharp words. Let's be honest. The Devil here, this is kind of an arrogant, hard-headed asshole who will not hear you when you use the nice words. Sometimes you have to use the mean words to get through somebody's thick-ass skull to make them understand. Yes, you might get called crazy. But if someone isn't listening when you're talking, sometimes you got to start yelling. And this might be one of those moments where somebody comes back around and they're still not listening, so you got to start yelling. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right, let's pull some clarifiers here. Clarifiers for our Knight of Cups. Oop, Ace of Swords. There's that truth, that clarity. Okay. One more, please. Oh, my. I don't even know if I want to take all this. This is a lot. Ooh, this feels like a false promises is what this feels like. Okay. Nine of Cups. This is Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm going to come in. I'm going to save the day. I have all the apologies, all the love bombing. Everything is great and wonderful. I'll treat you like the best thing in the world. Put you on a pedestal type of energy, right? This is like that it's a promise of change, a promise that I'm going to do things differently, right? King of Cups. I'm so sweet. I'm so kind. I'm so caring. I'm going to take care of you. We got the Ace of Swords, that confession, that clarity. Here's the truth, right? But then we got the King of Swords. How do they act when you speak up for yourself? Do they hear you? Or do you have to keep yelling? Do they turn into an asshole? Do they tell you that you're wrong for having a boundary, right? So I'm going to say this. I don't feel like this is like the end of the story. Again, we have all of these planets that are going to station retrograde over the next few months. I don't think this is the end of the story. I think this is the moment of the story where you have to stand your ground and see how they react to it. You may have to cut them off right now, okay? Because when you do stand your ground, are they telling you you're crazy, you're paranoid, you're whatever, right? They need to do the work before they come back into your life. Okay, they need to do this temperance energy. They need to dig into their past, their traumas, and fix it and work on it. Figure out what their traumas are. Figure out why they think it's acceptable to treat people in horrible ways. And they need to fix it. They need to do something with that before they can come back into your life. Okay, so it's okay to stand your ground. Again, this might come off as very genuine. I almost guarantee there will be confessions. There will be clarity. Somebody is seeing the truth, but it's feeling like they're not willing to actually do anything with that truth yet, okay? So make sure that you're standing your ground and pay attention to how they act when you stand that ground, okay? Clarifiers for the Devil and Queen of Swords, please. Clarifiers for the Devil and the Queen of Swords here. I gotta say, this does feel like somebody is coming in with a genuine apology, and I've had that happen before. I actually made the person tell me what they were apologizing for, and they said it word for word, and then 3 days later turned around and did the exact same thing again. So it's not about whether or not they acknowledge that they were wrong. It's about whether or not they're willing to change their behavior and stop doing things that they know are wrong, okay? Nope. We have 3 of Pentacles. And come on now. And yeah, 10 of Cups. So we are focusing on this. We're focusing on speaking our mind, taking control, not allowing other people to take control, not cutting the strings where the strings need to be cut, right? We're really focusing on standing up for ourselves, because we need to be focusing on, number one, our money, our work, what we're doing, our stability, and our emotional stability, our emotional happiness. We need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves from those that could come in and take it out away from us, and not allowing people to come in and just be like, here, I'll take this and that. That's always taking from you and never giving back, okay? Clarifiers for the Hangman. Essentially, you got more important things to deal with in your life than somebody who isn't willing to do the inner work, somebody who isn't willing to practice self-awareness and actually do something about it, okay? Clarifiers for the Hangman here. Ooh, 8. 8 of Swords. I got the same thing. That's wild. And one more. Oh. And Death. Okay. So again, you don't need to see things from their perspective. Do not be guilted into doing that. Okay, because a lot of times what happens is we'll do that. We'll go, oh, I understand, right? And then we just let them right on back in because we understand. And that Cancer moon is really going to fuel that need to understand. Keep that in mind, to be forgiving and understanding and healing and blah, 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 right? But we really need to think about it. You need to spend some time with yourself. Take the situation in. Stand up for yourself. Say what you got to say. But take the time to get in your head, think things through, really go over the whole thing and think about what changes and transformations do you want to see in your life. Is this situation part of your final outcome? Again, we're right on the cusp of major changes in this world. So starting something new right now is not the best of things to do. There's still more work that needs to be done. A lot of us still have a lot of shadow work we need to do. We have a lot of our own transformations, our own mental transformations that we need to work on. Are you in a place where you can accept someone else into your space? So really take the time to stop seeing things from everybody else's perspective and see it from your own space, your own head space. Where are you at in your head? What do you have space for? Bottom of the deck is the Five of Wands. So there's some conflict here. There is definitely this energy of like, you stand up for yourself and somebody tries to make you feel guilty for it. Somebody tries to say, well, you've got to understand it from here, from my side, like that type of thing. So there's definitely some conflict here. Petty arguments. This is oftentimes very petty type of things that like just never quite get anywhere. A lot of times very ego-based, very power struggle-based type of arguments here, okay? So definitely stand your ground. Look within, practice self-awareness on your end. Stop worrying about how they feel in the situation and worry about how you feel in the situation, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself.